How much do you spend on bubble tea? If you're like me and drink boba tea commonly, it's probably quite a bit more than you would expect at a first thought. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B. and I welcome you here at My First Million, where we are achieving our financial goals together. So I like to drink bubble tea, or as many people call it, boba tea. And yeah, therefore I took this topic as another addition for our common series for atomic financial habits. I chose bubble tea today just to show how much even smaller expenses like buying a boba tea can affect our long-term results or affect our long-term results in our financial outcome and all our financial journey. So for giving you some insights and really to visualize how much this can affect, let me switch over to my slides. So are you currently commonly drinking boba tea or bubble tea? If yes, how often do you drink bubble tea? And where do you buy it? And if you know how often and where you buy it, so you maybe also get some sense and on the average cost that you are spending on your bubble tea. So for me, I live in Taiwan. Therefore, for this example today, I'm using more or less Taiwanese prices for giving an example. Most of the prices, though, shown in this Atomic Financial Habits series are US prices. So for me, my preferred solution, if I buy a bubble tea, usually it's bubble milk tea, and I usually like to order a large cup. So this costs me in Taiwan around roughly 3.5 US dollars. So there are many ways how I could be saving though. And I could be, for instance, going for a cheaper solution. Instead of having milk added to the tea, I could go for the option where just milk powder is added to the tea. And you see, this is a significant difference. But also at the same time, I'm reducing the cup size from L to M. So if I would go from L to M and change the milk to powdered milk, the cost will be around 1.8 US dollar per cup. So you see, milk is pretty expensive in Taiwan, which might be quite a difference to Europe or the US. So an alternative solution though could be that instead of drinking bubble milk tea, I can just order a cup of tea of either specialty or like a common oolong tea. And this, if I would do this, the cup of tea might cost me around $1.1. Then if you're a dedicated bubble tea drinker like me, you will realize the more often you drink bubble tea, the more you get the craving to drink another cup. So if you constantly try to fulfill your craving, you will potentially end up drinking a bubble tea every day. Especially maybe if you see a lot of milk shops, just like here outside, milk tea shops, like here outside, when you are going to office and you walk by several milk shops just on the way, maybe to public transportation from your office. So therefore the fourth option that what you could be doing in order to reduce your bubble tea expenses is maybe just have a rule. Drink it one time per week instead of 7 times per week. Don't make it a habit, but make it more like a pleasure. Then of course you could even go cheaper than that. You could say that instead of buying my tea outside, I just make a homemade tea once per week. And that's pretty easy. Just boil a pot of water and throw in maybe 1 tea bag inside. And then maybe the cost per cup maybe is coming down to just 10 cents or so. And of course, there's always alternative solution. Maybe you don't really need to drink tea over time. So maybe there's a solution there to stop drinking. Whichever option you are willing to give up, of course this is all up to you. I'm not telling you which option you should be choosing. What I'm using this here though is just to show up the financial effects. And you see here, $3.5 is not a lot. And however, like a small monies quickly add up. And you can see here the annual cost with these different options or different situations. How much would it add up? So my preferred solution would be $3.5 per cup, and I will drink 1 cup every day per year. This would end up to over 1,200 US dollar of annual expense just on bubble tea. Then if you go for the reduced price option, like the cheaper alternative, but still continuously drinking 1 cup per year, you will still end up at around $650 per year. Then the alternative solution, meaning no bubble tea, just tea, it's cutting further down to $400 per year. And then another much bigger cutback is coming if you just drink it less often. Instead of drinking 365 times per year, you just drink it once per week, so 52 times per year. So this will cut your cost down to $57 per year. Do-it-yourself solution is just a little bit more than $10. And of course, if you don't drink tea at all, or bubble tea, or any kind of tea, of course you wouldn't have any cost. And you would be at zero. Of course, maybe you could have slight opportunity cost of drinking water. So, this is where the annual costs, but what are the lifetime costs of this? You see, the preferred solution, not compounded, is adding up if you say, okay, for 16 years, during my whole adulthood, I'm drinking 1 cup per day. This would add up to 76,000 US dollar, even more than that. So this is simply taking this $1,278 and multiplied by 60 years. And you see, of course, the more you cut back, the cheaper it gets for the results. So $76,000 for the preferred solution, then it goes down to less than 40,000, then to 24,000. Less often, it's just maybe around 3,000, a little bit more than 3,000. Do it yourself, maybe 600 US dollar for your whole lifetime. Now, this wouldn't be a financial channel if we wouldn't also consider the opportunity cost here. So the not compounded numbers is just the expense, what you are paying out of your pocket. But if you revisit our basics, what we already have covered several times on this channel, is the wealth cycle. So the goal, what the wealth cycle is showing that is that the goal of savings is that you have money that you can put into your investments, and that these investments generate a return for you and boost your income accordingly. So you can see here what would happen if you let this expense be invested and compounded. I took a 7.2% compounding rate. This is my standard rate that I use for compounding, because this would give me a double of my investments every 10 years, considering the rule of 72. So with 7.2% rate of return, I can double my money every 10 years. And if you compare it with the average stock market return, the 7.2% is quite reasonable, at least in my opinion. So, but if you see the compounding interest, how high the numbers are getting, will let you really think twice how much you really should be spending on a habit like bubble tea. Of course, these huge amounts only come in effect because it's also a very long period of time that you are able to have this money invested. So if you just were continuously going with the preferred solution for 60 years, considering your opportunity cost of investments, this would be 1.2 million So just having a habit like this, drinking a bubble tea every day, is the same as having a paid off house at the end of your lifetime or during your retirement. Reducing, you see, if you reduce further, the amounts are still significant, even though they are getting cut smaller and smaller. So the reduced option is still 600,000. It only gets really more significantly cheaper if you buy much less often. So then it's a little bit less than 50,000. Do it yourself. Cost of opportunity is 8,000. If you don't believe me this number, never trust any statistics and calculations that you haven't manipulated by yourself. But I did, to get these numbers, I simply used a savings calculator, considering that everything that I'm saving here gets invested. So basically the blue line, you see it's slightly increasing every year. It's the contribution I'm able to do because I'm saving every year, because I don't have this expense. And the red line is showing the compounded return that you are getting out from your investments. And you see, at first the difference is quite minimal, but the longer you let it run, the more effective will get the compounded effect. So, to sum this up, am I telling you to stop immediately drinking bubble tea? No, of course not. Am I telling you shouldn't go for your preferred solution? You should drink it less often. You should just cook your tea by yourself? Of course also not. But at least what every one of us should be doing in order to win financially is really consider also the smaller habits that we are doing to treat with our money. So every small expense, if it's a habit that it's a constant outflow, over time can have a huge effect on your financial situation. So just consider by yourself whether the pleasure that you're getting out of a bubble tea is really worth the money. The decision, of course, is all up on your own evaluation. Do you have any experiences in drinking bubble tea? Do you have any habits there too? Or maybe do you have any recommendations on get a cheaper alternative that's still very pleasurable that I haven't considered here in the video yet? Please write it in the comment below and share it with us. I'm always looking forward that we are able to help each other out to win financially together. So thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to see you in my next video, and especially I look forward to see you winning financially.